Good day and welcome to Two Girls, One Corset, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of period dramas, from bodice-ripping romance to scandalous court intrigue.
I am Max, your resident historical costumer and romantic.
And I'm Kaylin, a public historian and brand new Bridgerton fan. After devouring the first 2 seasons, I'm absolutely thrilled to dive into season 3.
That's right, and this season we'll explore new romances, tantalizing rivalries, and the ever-evolving world of the Bridgerton family and their friends.
So grab your corsets, brew yourself a lovely cuppa, and join us as we return to Regency-era England with Two Girls, One Corset. We'll dissect every historical detail, stunning costume, and juicy love scandal that Season 3 has to offer.
And with Kaylin bringing her insights from previous seasons, we're set for another wild carriage ride through London high society.
High society.
High society.
You really are the most devious bastard in London high
London
society.
City.
Exactly, and I can't wait to share my thoughts on the new characters and storylines as they unfold. Let's get started.
Ayo, you know what, Kaylin? What I just realized. After this episode, we only have 2 more episodes of this fucking season left.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The
Thank
pain
goodness.
will be over, but the suffering is so strong in this one that I had to add 2 dialogues that we have to do today.
I know, I saw your text while I was at work and I was like, oh, here we go.
You're like, oh dear. Max, calm down.
Oh, Gerard, we're really in it now.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I mean,
Oh,
for the
Jerry.
first time, it's not a dialogue, it is like a full-on, like, polylog. Because
I know,
more
so
than
we're
2 people.
We're gonna have
That
to
is
come
not
up
the
with
word.
some...
What is the word for, like, more than 2 people conversing?
A conversation.
Because when 2 people are speaking, it's not a conversation.
Yep, nope, that's, yeah.
This has been English class with Max and Caitlin.
Yep, as somebody who almost became an English teacher, this is very shameful. Anywho,
Oh dear, really?
Mags, have you not heard of my come to Jesus moment?
No.
Where I was sitting in an American literature class. It was my second year of uni. And then I was like, I think I would rather die than do this as a career. I'm going to move
just
to London and
imagining
become
you
a
with bunch of
curator.
kids. You would be like crying
Yeah.
most of the time. They would bully the hell out of you.
Oh my gosh, they would. Are you kidding me? I would go home sobbing every day. I see what Lucia deals with, and Lucia has nerves of steel, and I am grateful every day that I had the revelation to escape. So in the middle of that American literature lecture, I pulled up my laptop, changed my major, and left.
Welp. And here we are.
Yeah, and this is what it's led to. I'm a success story.
This is all there is.
This is all I have to show for it. Anywho.
Honestly, well, I'm just gonna before no. Oh no. Oh dear. It's fine. I fucking hate carpet. Before we start this wonderful episode properly talking about romancing Mr. Bridgerton, episode 6 of season 3, I'm gonna crack this open. Nice.
Ooh, listen to that sizzle.
Cheeked my mic for sure. And that's fine. But yeah, it is a wonderful scent of strawberries and cream and Pepsi, which is now my favorite beverage. Well, not my favorite beverage, but one of my favorites. Like, listen to this pour. This is now an ASMR channel.
Ooh, listen to that sizzle.
Yeah. Get in with my really crappy 5-pound mic from Amazon. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to go back to Tesco. Anyways, well, we're diving into the episode, and the entire time is discussing the fact that Cressida is allegedly Lady Whistledown. And for some reason, people are believing this.
I know, I find it interesting, but that's not the only reason why they're all buzzing, because there's also not been a new issue. So they're like, oh, well, maybe the queen has learned the truth and silenced her. Who knows?
I mean, obviously. But I'm also just, like, confused. Like, has a few days gone by? Or, like, what is the timeline in this episode?
If it was, like, the very next day, then...
I don't
it
feel because there
wouldn't
wasn't that many people
surprise
at the
me.
party.
Yeah, no, that would make things really suspicious.
I mean, it was like a weird concoction of people at that party. Like it was people who Penelope is like good friends with, and the Bridgertons are good friends with. But I don't feel like the Cowpers are like good friends of the Bridgertons.
Yeah, I don't know why they were there. I mean, to be fair,
It felt
and
like our friends and Cressida.
yeah,
It
so I'm
was a
not
weird
sure
concoction
what
of
the need
people.
was.
Either way,
Yeah.
well, Penelope is angrily writing a Lady Whistledown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, then Colin comes to visit,
Yeah.
and
Whoop de doo.
it's a funny interaction because like you can tell that Lady Featherington is like wanting to give them their space, but she's also like, you know what, I need to be a chaperone, so she's like prowling the corners of the
Yeah,
room.
she's like pretending to look at stuff to be like, oh, yeah, I'm not looking, whatever.
The
No,
actress is doing such a good job. I was like, this is so funny.
honestly, yeah, props to her. That was great. And so Colin's just like, I know you want to tell me something, but I shall wait until you're ready to tell me. And Penelope's like, oh no, don't
Yeah,
worry
bruh.
about it. And
Oh.
he's like, yeah, so Cressida's written so many horrible things about the both of us. And um, yeah, and Colin's like, so do you think that she's really Lady Whistledown? He's like, I always thought it would be somebody who like wasn't dumb.
Yeah, someone who's smarter, but that
That's
also means
basically
that
what everyone says.
yeah, and it's just like Colin thought that Lady Whistledown would be more clever, and therefore it can't also be Penelope.
Yeah, because he's just like, once again, he's just like, oh, you're Penelope. You're just this blob that
I
exists and
mean,
adores
the thing
me.
is, before I clocked really early first time watching Bridgerton that it was Penelope that was Lady Whistledown, but I thought it would be
Hmm.
someone more like older.
Yeah, you'd think, because she doesn't really have all
Mm.
that much society experience.
Yeah, like it
When she,
is a bit
yeah.
unlikely that it is her, but then it was like I clocked like a bunch of, obviously, Nicola is doing a great job acting,
Hmm.
and she's telling us that without telling us that. Either
Yeah.
way, well, Pauline pops up an engagement ring, and Portia is just like really excited. She's like wants to run over immediately to look at it, but she's like, they need space,
Hmm.
but also, oh my god.
Yeah.
Um, but then Penelope rocks over to her room once Colin leaves and has an existential crisis in her room.
Hmm. And then we go back to see the Cressida estate, and
The
Lord
Cowper
Cowper
estate.
is. Oh, sorry. The
The
Cressida estate.
Cressida estate.
You know, she's the only one that matters to me in that family. But
Her mom is pretty. I mean, her
okay,
mom
her
is
mom
pretty
is.
good though. Like,
Yeah,
even though,
touche.
like, I mean, she's trying her best to, like, help her daughter in a hard situation, and in this case, it means that she's pushing her to get married, like, previously in the
Hmm.
season. But in this episode, like, I must say, like, props to her because, like, helping her write a Lady Whistledown issue
Hmm.
and everything, like, dang. I don't think my mother would do that. I mean, and my mother isn't the best mother, so hey ho. But
Yeah. Anywho, so back to the two of them. So Lord Cowper is just like, "Oh, the old my old friend like doesn't want to marry you anymore," and Cressida's like, "Oh no, that's so sad. What a shame."
oh
And he's
no.
like, "Don't be happy about this." And so
And
he's
she's
like,
like,
"I'm
oh
going to send you
no.
to live with your aunt in Wales."
And
And
I mean, if I, let's be real here, if I was threatened to be sent to Wales again, I would also be
mhm.
horrified.
I could just hear Sean's reaction to. I mean, he hasn't seen it yet, but I'm sure once he watches that part, he's gonna be like, "No, Cressida, you gotta get out of there."
Yeah, no, like, I don't know, Wales is just a very depressing place. Like, yes, it's pretty, but gosh darn.
Oh dang!
Gosh darn.
Oh boy, howdy.
Oh boy, howdy.
Oh
Oh.
dear.
Well, Lady Cowper knows her daughter well enough that it is indeed not Cressida who is Lady Whistledown, which I think is really funny.
Mhm.
And for plot, she's immediately right after that conversation being summoned to see the queen.
Mhm. And after that, we see Lady Danbury speaking with the Mondriches, and so they're like, "Hey, we decided we're actually going to sell the club," which is kind of what we all presumed was going to happen anyway. But we're finally wrapping up the end of this plot, which, thank goodness, personally. But
I mean, I can't remember what happens actually because I haven't been invested. But instead, after selling the club, they're gonna celebrate by hosting a ball.
ooh,
Which
exciting
Lady Danbury
stuff.
not at all wasn't like steering their hand, like, oh, you should definitely not host a ball. Lady Danbury
Yeah.
just loves a party.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I adore that about
She's
her.
a 365 party girl.
365. Yeah. And so then we see
Oh, also, I
speak
did take
yeah.
note here that Lady Danbury is wearing a dark blue outfit, which looked really good on the actress.
I
But
noticed that.
it's not Lady Danbury. Like we've established a color for Lady Danbury, which
Yeah,
is like burgundy.
yeah, burgundy, ruby reds. Because I did notice that as well. It was like the blue's a different choice for her.
It
It's
was
not a bad
weird. I
choice,
don't know
but
how I
it's
feel.
out of the ordinary.
It was very pretty. It did look a bit cheap, but
Mm.
you know, well, Lord Anderson comes back to the Bridgerton house because he forgot his hat, and I'm like, sure, Jan.
Yeah.
But he does admit that he wanted to see Violet, and that's why he went instead of his footman.
Mm-hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's like, "Oh yeah, I've just got a headache." Cough, cough. She's a hangover. And then he's like, "I noticed that there's some tension between, like with my sister." And he's like, "Well, it'll work out because it's just like childhood fights and stuff." And so he's like, "I'm gonna find a way to fix things with her." And so he leaves, but he's like, "I'll see you soon." And then we go into the drawing room, and
Oh, it's a lovely scene.
it's
I knew you'd be
carnage.
obsessed.
It's because I have been here so many. You should have seen the Sheldon household after we like plundered our trick or treating bags.
Oh gosh.
Because there's always that one person in the family who's like, "What if we pour it all in the middle and then we all divide it equally?" It's like, okay, no, you Marxist. I got this candy fair and square. Get the frick
No,
away
you
from me.
marks.
But yeah, you'd like go through and you would try to like pawn off your like crappy stuff on your younger siblings that don't suspect anything. Because Benedict's doing that. He's like, okay, look, I'll give you guys the banana ones if you give me the chocolate ones. But they're like, no. And so they're all
It is
fighting over the
actually
macarons.
so funny. I need a whole season, like full on keeping up the Kardashian energy with Benedict, Hyacinth, and
just
Gregory.
just the three of them. So like it's gonna cut to Gregory being like, "Did he just say that?" And it's gonna have like the weird like, kind of like almost
Dun
cymbal
dun
sound effect.
dun.
Yeah, and then it cuts to Benedict like giving side eye to the camera, and he's just like, "I came in, I held the box, I deserve those macaroons."
I
And then,
bought the box with my money that has been allotted
mm-hmm,
to me. These kids doesn't even have their own money.
yeah, like I'm the oldest of the three of them, and I should get the most of them.
And then Hyacinth walks up with a black eye, and she's like, "I don't want to talk about it."
Yeah.
Because she definitely in this scene had chocolates shoved in her face.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, Lord John and Francesca are sitting on the opposite side of the room, and they're just like, okay, now it's getting a bit whiny because they're just like offended that no one's paying attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord John stands up and like, or Kilmartin, he stands up and he has this whole like speech of like he has to plague and he's gonna die tomorrow or something, and no one is paying attention because everyone's just like busy looking at the
Okay. I have
WrestleMania
done
going on the couch.
I've done that with my mom before where I'll be like talking to her and I know she's not listening and I'm like, "Yeah, and then I broke my ankle and I got a tattoo and you know, I ran my high school forgery business." And she's like, "What was that, sweetie?" And I'm like, "Nothing, mom. I just want
I
someone
have
to
done that to
notice me."
abs because they tend to talk a lot at me, and I call it their podcast because like I'm not really responding, but it's also because I'm a bit like nonverbal sometimes, and I'm just like quiet and I don't mind them talking at me, but it's just like sometimes a bit much. Especially when
Yeah,
it
no,
happens right as I go to bed and I'm like, oh my
Sean does that
god.
sometimes, like with his ADH dizzle, and um, yeah, there are moments where I'm just kind of like, I feel bad, but he'll be explaining like medieval warfare 2 to me, and in my head I'm just like, blah blah, proper name. His eyes are
Listen,
pretty, kind of thing. Backstory
honestly,
stuff.
yeah, no. Abs does it a lot when we're in bed about to go to sleep. And then because we they go to bed much earlier when they're with me because I'm not a night owl.
Mm,
I'm some tired afternoon owl. No, pigeon.
mm.
Um and
Parakeet.
I'm not a parakeet.
Thank goodness.
I'm not
Otherwise, you would
plotting
not be in my
against you
life
yet, Kaylin.
yet.
Um, but yeah, so then they just start their freaking we call it the podcast, and they also lovingly we both call it the podcast. It's really
Hmm.
funny. And they just go on and on and on, and I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. You do your thing, babe. You need do what you need to do.
Just
But
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
anyways, Francesca then just like kind of takes the lead and takes the reins, and she stands up and she speaks up very clearly, and she says, "I am going to marry Lord Kilmartin." And they're
And
like,
everyone's
"Oh,
like,
yay,
cool. Benedict doesn't
cool."
even put the macaroons down. He's been fighting too hard to hold on to them, so he kind of goes over to give him like a little awkward like handshake and a side hug while he's still got the tin tucked into his side. Like,
Yeah,
congratulations. I will not be giving this up. I
it
have
is
toiled blood,
wonderful.
sweat, and tears over this. That's how little
Well,
they're invested in this.
while Colin is editing his sex journal when Eloise
Ugh,
walks in,
disgusting.
and Colin has been softened by being with Penelope and being so in love that he says that he can't really write anything in his sex journal. And I'm like, mm,
Okay.
it's why are you talking? Yeah, I mean he doesn't talk. He doesn't explicitly say that it's his sex journal, but let's be real. It is what it is.
It
It's his
is what it
Pornhub
is.
scripts.
It really is. And so Colin's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And um, she's like they're having an awkward conversation about Whistledown and stuff. And as she's watching, she like kind of gets the vibe that Colin would be really devastated if he happened to know the truth about Penelope being whistled down. And so she's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, but whatever. And so she's like, I'm gonna go speak to Lady Whistledown now, and she does. But Colin is under the impression that she's going to talk to Cressida, but of course we know that she's going to talk to Penelope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Penelope is fighting for her life, trying to write the next Lady Whistledown. As Eloise rocks up and is disappointed with herself and Pen for not telling Colin about Lady Whistledown shenanigans. But then she's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? No, let's not tell him. Just like don't write. Like don't put yourself in that position. And okay, so this fight, like I can see them both, but I do think that Penelope is being a little bit unreasonable because I'm just like, girly pop, you got the guy.
Mm-hmm. Do not be greedy in your success, as your mother said.
Yeah, no, like actually, like that was supposed to be like a snide, but it is very true. I don't know if that comes with like growing up, I guess. Are we old ladies, Kaylin?
I guess so. I mean, are we not? We just might not be the target audience for this season because we were all like, "Oh yes, Lord Debling," and
No,
then
we're
now
not the
we're like,
target
"Oh,
audience, in fact.
retire." Yeah.
Yeah, just retire, girl. Come on. Um,
Like especially as somebody who
but I also
does
understand like
rise and grind, I would love to not have to, because she
I
explains it
mean, the
as
thing
like
is
having power.
I can understand like that she doesn't want her life work and like what she has done to get the credit to Cressida of all people. Like, she
But
wasn't offended when Eloise was the one being suspected at all.
that's a good point.
Yeah. So I think it's like, which kind of makes sense because, yes, we've seen throughout the seasons that Cressida has been an absolute asshat.
Yeah, so like,
I mean, this is straight from the books though, that Cressida does um take responsibility for having written it.
oh, okay, that's
It is in a similar
interesting.
situation where Cressida has been married for a few years and her husband has died and he has like ran their economy down and bottom. And so she
Mm,
needs money, and she basically at a party stands up and says that, hey, I wrote Lady Whistledown, and everyone's like, ooh, but it's Lady Danbury for like shits and giggles trying to figure out who wrote Lady Whistledown because the Queen isn't really a character in the book.
okay.
Which is in a way a better plot.
I guess so. I don't know. I, I don't know. I'm still just so kind of like intrigued with how everything is going, but I'm also like not quite invested enough in it to really be that.
I know, I
I
guess it's
don't
just
know.
like I'm just grasping at things here to talk about, I guess. Well,
Yeah, no, it's
Cressida
hard.
goes to see the Queen either way, and the Queen doesn't seem to be buying the fact that Cressida is Lady Whistledown because she's like, I know
Yeah.
Lady Whistledown.
She's like, she would never
Um,
give me like easy, you know, she would never cow to me
and
easily. She would, have her pride or
yeah,
whatever.
and the
Like,
Queen is using the fact that Cressida
so,
wants the reward as the evidence against the fact that Cressida is Lady Whistledown.
hmm
She says that Lady Whistledown wouldn't want the money because she would be loaded, which is very true.
hmm
Which we talked about in the last season too, where it's like the Featheringtons were under economic pressure, and we're like, bruh, Lady Whistledown should be loaded, aka Penelope should be loaded. Why is she not helping out her mom?
touche.
Either way, um, and the Queen says something really cool as well, where she says like, "What have you observed other than yourself?" And after that, essentially, Cressida gets kicked out of court. She's not allowed to come back, and no one wants to marry Cressida in this state.
Or
And Violet
nar.
or R&R. Violet is just skipping a bunch of hoops to plan for the wedding, and it's just like basically planning the wedding breakfast. And they're like, "Yo, we haven't even been announced yet. Maybe we should look into that, Mom, and maybe you should talk to the Queen."
We can see that Violet is like, oh, like kind of hesitant about it and stuff. And like she agrees to it, but she's not like setting any kind of hard and fast deadline. And
Yeah,
yeah, then we see Lady Featherington getting arrangements put together for the wedding, and she's talking to Varley about it. And Prudence and Philippa are both kind of jealous because they're having all these big wedding plans for Penelope, and she's like, "Well, you married poor men, so
yeah.
sucks to suck." And they're like, "But we're pregnant," and she's like, "Whatever, I'm gonna go look for your sister," which is kind of unsettling for both of them because Penelope's never been
They've
one
never
to
been
get
snited.
attention.
It's a little bit funny.
Yeah,
They are definitely there
and
just for comic relief, and I'm so here for it.
mm-hmm.
Lady Featherington sits down and talks to Penelope. I mean, again, I've written like the shittiest note. Like, I know there was more to this conversation, but basically about dreams and how she has sacrificed a lot of her dreams for her husband, like essentially all her dreams. But the dream she has now is that her girls will do better in life than she did, which is
Mm-hmm.
Lady Featherington is so wise. She's like more of a Violet than Violet in this season.
Absolutely. And the thing too is like she says something, she goes back sort of on what she said where she's like, I did marry for security and I didn't even get security because
Yeah.
as we recall, the late Lord Featherington went through all of their money.
Oh yeah, and it's also why it's so important that the girls get pregnant so that they can keep the Bridgerton. What I'm saying, the Featherington estate.
Mhm. So,
Um, it's it's honestly she's very wise. Like compared to like the other scenes that we've seen, like she's been sly and she's been clever, but she hasn't been wise.
like yeah, she hasn't been that motherly in that way.
No,
But
it's an interesting turn here. Well, we do see Benedict and Lovergirl having a floor picnic, and the point of this is to invite Benedict to a dinner with a fella named Paul, who's a friend of Lovergirl, and she looks honestly okay. I'm not a fan like of this matching pairing at all. Like it gives me the icks for some reason.
mm,
But I must say that she looks really, really cute in this scene because her hair isn't perfectly Bridgerton laid. It is
Mm-hmm.
messy and everywhere, and you can tell that they just had fun, kind of thing. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we get the most ungodly action ever.
What?
Benedict like proceeds to like dip his hands directly into the jam and suck it off.
I didn't
And
see this because I was taking notes. Oh my gosh.
no, I saw this and I was I wrote down. I'm gonna read what I wrote because usually I just glean my notes from the wiki pages. I actually had to write something down for this. I wrote in all capital letters "whore,"
It's like there's
and
gonna be
then
so many bacteria in there. At least he
yeah,
like
I
washes his hand and wipes his ass, unlike some people in this series.
yeah, but I wrote "whore," disgusting. You're not seeing heaven. Do it again? Question mark.
Which is the fine line that Kaylin likes to balance.
Yes. Yep. I'm probably not seeing the inside of heaven. Anywho.
Oh gosh. You, if anyone. Well, Kilmartin, Colin, and Ben are at Mondrick's celebrating the last night of the club. And they are definitely all of them off their tits, and it's so funny.
Yeah, and they're all, just trying to bond with each other, but then they get into some stupid game of like, oh, who
Who is
is
the
the most
most
pitiful one
miserable?
among us who they can have a drink and stuff. And Colin's like, "Oh, well, it'll be me." And everyone's like, "You're literally about to get married. Why the frick would it be you?"
It is
And
literally
the
the Poundland version of Les Miserables.
drink with me. 2 days gone
Alright.
by.
Well,
But
dear listeners, we're getting into one of our first polylogs here, where the two of us are going to play four different people.
all right.
I
Whenever
ha-
you have the first line, so you go for it.
well, everyone, we should also establish our characters. I just played Bridgerton, and I am also going to read as Mondrix.
And then
Mr. Mondrix.
I'm going to play Lord Kilmartin, and then Benedict. I'm going for a Preminger
What?
vibe. Preminger! Played by Martin Short.
You know that you're gonna have to do this in the next
Jimmy.
season.
Imagine! It's gonna be so good. Sophie! I've spent years trying
How
to
can I
find
refuse?
you! How can I refuse? And the moment that I get
Well, we
you
are gonna have to
you know,
keep these characters apart somehow.
I'm just thinking, you know how Luke Thompson's doing a play in London in
Uh-huh.
May? I'm going to
Uh-huh.
give him a QR code to just just us doing this that's a link to just us doing this dialogue, and I'm like, I hope I did honor for you, and then just walk away so that way I never know what trauma I've caused him.
Oh god. Well,
Shoot.
let's get started, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, I need to put this away. I need to have a drink.
Shall we hydrate real quick and then get into it?
Actually, I need a drink from the big bottle. It's water, I swear.
2 shots of vodka.
Okay. And action. Yes, Lord Kilmartin. We're having you join our family very soon. Wait, shit. The whole page reloaded for some reason.
You weren't mewing enough.
Oh, I need to mew it more. I'm sorry. Google Docs. Google Docs is so upset with me right now. It's like, excuse you. Right, sorry, okay. One more time. And
From the top.
Yes, Lord Kilmartin, we're having you join our family very soon. I hope. A pleasure to have you out with us.
The pleasure is mine. Ah! Your spirits seem high tonight. Have you got all simple with love?
Gentlemen, one of my finest bottle of brandy.
Ah!
I can not have it going to the new proprietor.
Another? You'll have us wish you closed the club every week.
Well, sadly, this is the very last bottle.
Ah!
Damn! I thought there were at least a few more pours. Surely the drink is yours to celebrate your last night of owning this fine establishment. You mean to mourn my last night? Wait, no, that's not a call-in. It's a... Ooh. I refuse to pity drink. Well, if it's a pity drink, then perhaps I deserve it. What?
You?
You are right. Love has simply made me so simple that I cannot even write a sentence this week. It is torture. I can't wank. Really.
What do you need to write?
I'm writing a manuscript, in fact.
Oh! Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah? What is it about?
I'm editing my porno from my travels. Or, in principle, I am.
No! No, 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 no.
Why? You don't think I deserve it?
You at least have a direction for your life while I am floating purposeless, with no discernible path forward.
What? Are you not the happiest you've ever been?
Oh, right, that is true, yes. I think the drink is mine. If I am correct in reading that the winner of this game is whoever is the most fortunate. No, please do not start saying sentimental things about our sister. I was going to say that I am the most fortunate because I have spotted another bottle. He has!
He has!
Clap, 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 clap. Fortunate indeed. How can I refuse? Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you to Mr. Mandrich's Fine Club. To the club.
To the club. And see.
I think we killed it, personally.
Honestly, why are we not hired as the actors in Bridgerton, is my question.
It's a
mystery.
Temporary setback. It's a momentary loss, but conveniently my ego doesn't bruise.
I want Benedict to be played like Preminger now in the next season.
Could you imagine the riots in the street? Because people are dying for this.
No, it would be like a celebration. It'd be pride.
Touché.
But like, I don't know. Sure, there would be some protesters that would call it ungodly, which, you know what? I see that too.
Yes.
Well, it is now Sunday and they're in church.
Which is the first time anyone's seen the inside of a church in this show.
No, it's not, because they get married before they have sex a lot of times.
Oh, touché. But like an actual church service.
Yeah, that's true, which is really strange. And also they do point out that it seems like people are only going to church if wedding bands are being read, and I'm like, y'all are sinning. Y'all would be in so much trouble.
Absolutely.
While Penn is wearing a mega pretty denim blue dress, and I'm like a little bit obsessed with the color. It's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
The priest is just talking, and people are looking at each other very lovingly, and Colin and Penelope, they start speaking after church, and Penelope confesses to having always loved Colin, and Colin, the no social skills Bridgerton skid mark, starts to dance in the church. And I'm like, my dude.
Penelope's like, you were never punished as a child, were you?
Yeah, I did write that down
answer.
Too. And I'm
yeah,
like, yes,
but
correct.
there's the only time I've ever bought like the friends to lovers thing between them is like when, the priest is just like, if anybody has cause where they shouldn't marry, that should be made known. And like Colin looks over and just kind of like ruffles like the inside of his collar a little bit, like, ooh.
Yeah.
And that's
I
like
mean,
almost kind of funny.
he has some repentance to do, that boy. Well, Lady Danbury introduces Lord Anderson to her friend to keep him off Violet, and it's so clear what she's doing. It
Mm-hmm.
sent me.
Oh yeah, very much so, and it's hilarious. Like, marry or get involved with literally anyone else. I beg you, please. And
Please stay away from my friend.
yeah, and he's like, nice to meet these people. I'm gonna go find your friend. And then,
Honestly. And Cressida is hiding behind the carriages, wearing, like, if she's like trying to blend into the crowd and like not be seen,
she's doing a bad job wearing bright pink.
she's wearing like the biggest pink bow I've ever seen in my life. Good lord. Like, she doesn't know the difference between day wear and night wear. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, it does not work.
It doesn't work, man.
I don't get it.
I
Anyway,
don't get it.
yeah, so Cressida comes out and she's like, um, would you mind helping me write an edition? And Eloise is like, oh, I should probably pretend that I believe that she's Whistledown and be like, oh, you wrote some really mean things about me. So
Yeah,
why
and
would
she
I
kind
help
of
you?
snides her. And then Cressida immediately after they kind of friend break up, she's so vile.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. Like, it's definitely a defense mechanism.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I do find this
And
interesting. Like, again, their relationship, like the three girls, very interesting.
yeah, I don't know. But the Featherington sisters are talking again, and uh, Prudence is saying that Philippa must be having a girl because apparently the girls will steal the mother's beauty and stuff. And so she goes, "Isn't that right, mother?" Which is so salty because her mother had
Mother has
three
three daughters.
daughters. And you know what? Lady Featherington's still looking good.
She's
But,
looking hot.
they're, yeah, uh, Lady Featherington's too busy looking at Colin and Penelope. And so Albion Finch is trying to calm down his dear wife and be like, I'm sure you'll be beautiful no matter what, which is cute behavior.
Yeah.
It's cute.
But it's also someone else is looking at Penelope and Colin, and it is Francesca. And she is
Mm-hmm.
looking at, I don't know if you noticed this, but in my book, she looked at them like longingly when they're like being cutesy, whatever. I mean, cute
Yeah.
is a strong word, but that they're portraying this like loving and affection.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. Just saying. Just saying.
Yep. A
Just
hint of
saying. Well,
what
Penelope
could be
is
missing.
going through her papers in her room, and she's throwing all her Lady Whistledown material on the fire.
Oh no.
Dun dun dun. Well, Colin is now feeling better than ever right after church to go back and write his porn.
Mm-hmm. Which
Mm-hmm.
is probably means he needs to go back to church, but I digress.
Well, either way. The ball for the Mondricks are being set up, and honestly, like, it looked pastoral. Like, I was not impressed with this ball at all. But we'll
No.
get to that. Penelope and Portia are planning the craziest wedding. Like, they're like, oh, should we have the silver or just the fabric? And they're like, silver. It was wild. Well,
Yeah.
Penelope rocks up to the modiste. And also, what the frick is the modiste wearing? Did you notice this?
Oh, what, the black dress?
Her whole ankles were out. Like, her calf was
I
out. Like, what was she wearing?
I wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest. I kind of glazed
I
over on the
couldn't stop
fashion.
looking at it. It was horrific.
I believe it was. It wouldn't surprise me for this season.
Uh, well, they talk about Lady Whistledown, and Penelope tells her, I'm quitting. I'm not going to do this anymore.
And she's like, "Are you sure about that?"
Are you sure about that?
And she's like, because I love the moment when a girl tries on a dress and she's happy. I would hate to give up the thing that makes me happy about my job. And Penelope's like, oh, shoot, you right. And
Yeah, there's that. And the Cowpers, Lord Cowper's being thrown out of his club because of Cressida. And it's so funny. She's sitting at the tiniest writing desk I've ever seen. It is a very
mm,
cute writing desk, and it reminds me of one that I had that I lost in one of the moves. But either way, uh, it is funny that she's sitting by this little writing desk, not in her room, just like in some office somewhere. And mom walks in, and Cressida kind of tells the plan of like, you know what, I'm gonna use the money for the dowry because that can get me married. Turns out also her writing is absolutely horrid, so she's struggling to write this.
and there's like a moment between her and her mom where she kind of like does cry a bit, and her mom has to comfort her. So good for the mom for being there, because Cressida does say out loud that she's scared. And
Yeah,
then to
which I
to
feel like it would be
contrast,
very hard for Cressida to admit.
yeah, so you can tell there's a lot of trust between her and her mom. And then we see, to contrast, Eloise is looking at an old Whistledown. She's like, oh, haha, this line is so clever. Because we have already driven home on multiple occasions that Cressida is not clever. We just needed another one, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
I'm sure she's good at something.
Yeah.
Either way, well, we're off to Lover Girls dinner with Paul and Benedict, and it's just like a little bit awkward.
Paul.
Like, it starts a bit
Yeah.
awkward. They're like, it's like Paul is asking Benedict 20 questions, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then they start bonding over how they can roast Lover Girl.
Yeah. And it's the thing I found kind of funny is, so he's just like, do you have any artistic pursuits? And he's like, I dance sometimes. And he's like so not impressed by that answer. And literally everybody is screaming at their screen at the moment, like the artist trope,
I
or like
know.
the 2 seasons that we built up. But I guess he's probably just not doing it because he's felt like an imposter ever since the
Again,
ever
I
since
don't
the truth came
understand
out
why
about the
that.
academy.
I don't understand why that became a thing. Ow.
No, no, yeah. Mm-mm. But I guess they need to give him some sort of like
Struggle.
struggle or reason in the next season. So we'll see or whatever. But they're they're chatting, and
We go over to the ball at the Mondricks, and the Violet is looking longingly at Mr. Anderson, or Lord Anderson,
mhm.
and Lady Downbury showers him with women. That's so Violet. I'm loving the strategy. Penelope is wearing blue, and it's so funny because Portia is so fussing over her, and it's like, oh, I don't really like this color, but it looks very nice on you.
Yeah, I did find that kind of funny. It's like she's trying in the best way she knows how, but it's not always the best.
It was
Um,
so funny. And
but
then
yeah,
the sisters are just really jealous. But then the queen also rocks
yeah,
up, and she just roasts. She drags this party. She's like,
yeah. She's
"This
like,
is
it's
it."
boring. And then
And
they
then
open up the giant butt plug in the middle of the room.
it was the least like. Was that supposed to be exciting?
I know. I was watching this. Like, did like did something intriguing happen that I didn't remember happening?
I.
And no, I was still underwhelmed.
It was so underwhelming. Like even for these people, like I remember in season one, when they went down to Vauxhall and they turned on the lights. Like yes, I can understand how that would be like both really pretty, but
Mm-hmm.
also like a cool thing for these people. But I feel like even though like we don't find this centerpiece cool, they wouldn't find it cool either. Like I don't understand the hype. It's really so underwhelming.
Yeah. No. It like I I've tried. I tried to be like, I'm sure maybe there's something about it, but the more I watched it, the more I was like, I just no. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Colin and Penelope are dancing together, and in the meantime, Francesca goes up to Violet and she's like, "So the queen's here. You could go talk to her, like, right now." And she's like, "Oh, just now is not a good time." And she's like, "Well, what if the queen leaves?" And Violet's like, "I just think we need to wait." And then Francesca's just like, "Wait a minute. I think I know what you're doing. You're not
You
asking
don't
the
want
queen
us to
because
get
you don't want us
married.
to get married." And so,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
I don't think that's the
it's
reason because
awkward.
like the thing is like Violet has been burnt so many times by the queen because the queen is kind of an impulsive character, right? So like I kind
Mm-hmm.
of see where Violet is coming from.
Yeah.
Like I'd be worried too. Well,
Yeah, that's understandable. It's like I feel like they've made the queen a little bit more socially approachable in some ways, but we need to like take a step back and remember like she is the queen. She is royalty. This is
yeah.
kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's a bit it doesn't really check out here, but
Yeah.
Lady Danbury like is kind of running away from the party and ish, not really, but Lord Anderson then like kind of confronts her and like, "Yo, why won't you let me like hook up with your bestie?" And we kind of get a satisfactory answer in that Lady Danbury really doesn't like her brother because she was trying to escape her marriage, which is this is like Queen Charlotte things. You haven't seen Queen
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, have you?
I've seen like half of it, and then I dropped off, so I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, but you basically know that her husband is kind of
Yeah, her husband was terrible. I got to the part where her husband died, so yeah, her husband
well,
sucked.
he wasn't terrible, I wouldn't say. He wasn't the
Well,
sharpest
she's
tool in the box, but you know, I can see how that
no.
wouldn't be that appealing.
She said something about how he didn't like orphans, so I was like, oh, insert bad husband TM here, I guess. So
I mean, other than that, I feel like that would be very on brand for a man at that time.
touche.
So I don't
Yeah,
really, I
I
don't
don't know.
know. They've kind of failed, but I guess it goes because I mean, he was kind of nasty, yes, but like, I think it's also because I think the actor did such a funny, like, fantastic job with this role that I guess like now I have like rose-colored glasses on thinking about her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, she was trying to escape, but then she was caught apparently, and at Anderson basically was the one she heard him in the office saying like the dad thanking like thank you for catching Lady Danbury from running away.
Mm-hmm.
Wee. And she's pissed about that, and he kind of gets that. He's like, "Oh yeah, that probably wasn't a good
Yeah.
idea."
Yeah. So.
Well, Paul and Benedict are openly flirting on the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And here's our second. It's literally gay panic, this entire scene.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
obviously, we need to
100%.
read it.
Yes. Okay. I'm getting my script pulled
I'm
back up.
reading Paul. Okay, what's Paul like? I haven't thought about this.
Paul.
Paul.
So
What's
every time I hear
Paul?
the name Paul, I think of
Is
like
he
a guy
from
from New
New
Jersey.
York?
New
No,
Jersey.
I
New
can't do a
York.
whole New York accent reading him.
That's okay. No, that's fair. What would he be? Because he probably gives more Preminger vibes than Benedict, to be honest,
Is
but
he
I've already committed.
Twinkie?
He is kind of twinky.
Valley Girl. Oh my god.
Valley, Valley Girl.
He is the Valley Girl. We've established this
Okay,
because you wanted
cool.
to make Benedict the Valley Girl.
Touche. Yeah, I know. That was almost what I went for with Benedict, but it just didn't feel right. Benedict is our flamboyant Barbie villain man,
What?
which is so funny. He's not a villain, but Preminger is just such an icon. I couldn't resist.
He is. I mean, fair.
They're both icons, just in their own way. Go back to your books, schoolboy.
I think
You
Kate
good
has
over
been
there?
possessed by the spirit of Preminger.
What would make you think that? Okay, sorry, I'm done. We can go to the scene. Okay. If you're
Okay,
ready.
and I'm first. Line again. Okay. End scene. And then Tilly has not told you all of our stories.
Oh, are you not going right from the I do not spend much time in society?
Oh shit! Sorry, I scrolled a little bit far down. Okay, well, we need to have a mess up in the beginning. Okay. Action. I don't spend that much time in society. Tilly enjoys coming and going. I find the entire thing too much pretentious. Judgmental, really.
I cannot imagine what anyone would judge you for.
Then Tilly has not told you of all our stories?
Can I ask you a personal question?
Is there any other question worth asking?
You and Lady Arnold have quite a rapport. I am surprised the two of you have never... In fact, do not answer that. Apparently, the wine has made me rather rude.
Well, the wine has also made you rather charming.
Ah!
I should go and ensure that Lady Tilly has not worked herself into a frenzy over the dessert.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's hilarious.
Wow. That was moving. I could feel the
Very much
chemistry
so.
between these two.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
Love
we
Girl
really
and
embodied him.
Paul are in the hallway talking about dessert, which seems to be a very meaty dessert indeed.
Yeah, because they macking on each other.
There's both sausage and roast beef for dinner, for dessert.
Wow, sorry, I was not expecting that.
Well, they're like making out as Benedict sees them, and Ben is like heartbroken, and then they're like,
Yeah,
"You
he's...
want to join?" And I'm like, "Why is this
And,
weird?" Like, I feel like you've done way weirder things, Benedict.
right? Like, you already had a threesome before. You had one in season 1.
Like, I'm gonna call this season, Benedict, this specific scene, biphobic. Because,
Very much so.
no, because it's like, I'm not even being funny at this point. It's just like, he's, the only way we can describe that he's bisexual and make sure that the audience, oh, he's bisexual, don't worry, is to have him have a threesome, which is like, no.
No.
Like, it's literally giving looking for a third. Either way, well, Benedict, he stands his ground and he runs away. And
Yeah,
Cowpers
and...
rocks up to the dance, the party, in like the most dramatic way, wearing the most dramatic clothes. I'm like,
And we're
jeez.
getting a cover of Confident by Demi Lovato.
Oh, and it's also really funny because there's some deaf folks there, and they're signing the devil. And
Yeah,
you don't
they're...
have to read the subtitles to know exactly what they're signing.
Yeah. Very much
It
so.
was 10 out of 10.
And... Yes, so the queen is just like, well, this is going to be such an amusing party and stuff. And so Brimsley was like, oh, should I have Cressida come to you? She's like, no, let her squirm instead. And Colin's like, don't worry, Penelope, she shall not ruin our night. And so, like, everybody's just kind of, like, buzzing about what to do and stuff.
Yeah,
But...
and before they know it, the latest Lady Whistledown just like shows up with a bunch of servants who are like, look what we have. And Penelope is like literally fighting for her life, trying to find one. Did you see that? I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
She's scrambling.
No, yeah, it was funny because we also, it's also worth mentioning, Colin is saying that he's been editing his manuscript, and Penelope's like, oh, do you want me to help you? And he's like, no, I need to prove that I can do it myself.
Corn. Oh my gosh. Penelope.
He's like, I need to prove that I can do it for both of us.
Yeah, like, I need to shoot this porn just like, the world needs to know.
World needs to know that I've paid people to have sex with me.
Well,
we could tell.
Penelope grabs Eloise and they walk off to talk. And Colin follows, kind of. And then they're
Mm-hmm.
Panic in the library and not Panic at the Disco, it's Panic in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly my kind of party. Penelope is going to discredit Cressida by publishing again. She wants to do some good by writing about, by taking away that power
Mm-hmm.
from Cressida, because apparently, like, this is now some sort of power that Cressida holds over them. But it's like, she doesn't have power at all. Like, I don't understand this at all, this conversation. I'm like, where does Cressida have power?
Yeah, like not. I feel like
Where?
it's a stretch.
It is a
Where?
stretch. Because we, like, established this entire time how Cressida is literally helpless in doing this because it's her last resort. And suddenly
Mm-hmm.
she has so much power. I'm like, what? Either way.
Yeah, like I feel like they're kind of trying to grasp at straws and have the writers tell us certain things directly, and I'm like, is that how it works? I don't know about it, but
I was like, I don't know how this works, but
okay.
okay. Um, Either way. Well, do you want to know something funny? Kaylin's podcast. What am I saying? Her track cut out, sadly. So I only have me talking to myself for another 5-10 minutes, something like that. So you're gonna have to be happy with this just under an hour podcast episode this week. Um, Critical points were we hate Colin still. He's a piece of trash. Is what he is. And we were really annoyed that he somehow applies everything to himself. Another key point that I'm trying to remember was that we're just a bit about iffy about the whole Benedict scenario. Not gonna lie. I don't like Benedict in this season. I remember earlier in the season I called him Benedict because he feels like an evil twin brother of Benedict himself. But yeah, those are the main points this week. I'm gonna do the outro by myself because I'm an actor. Thank you for. I don't know why that has to do anything with me being an actor, but whatever. Thank you for listening to Two Girls One Corset. If you enjoyed our podcast, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. Please leave us a review. They're so fun to read. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Two Girls One Corset Pod for behind the scenes looks, updates, and more pure drama content. And be sure to share the podcast with your friends who love all things romance and historical drama. Until next time, keep your corset tight and your hearts open. Farewell, dear listeners. Mwah. We love you.